Hi guys, what's going on, and welcome back to another episode of Rome Total War 2. So we are playing as Massilia. Just going to get my army arrayed how I would like it. You know, obviously my usual fairly classic setup. Slingers on the front line, then we're going to have in the middle some of our hoplites. And we've got quite a few 4-axe swordsmen, 3 on each flank. These are going to be my bulk of my heavy infantry, and then one little unit of flanking Celtic warriors. These are obviously just going to be my quick little hard-hitting flank force. They've got really good weapon damage, but pretty much crap at everything else. So I'll get those guys over there.
Ready and waiting.
Let's get you... Oh, not into Unit 2, sorry. Unit 1. Then we've got these two guys here, which are going to make up Unit 3. Let's get those guys. They're my little skirmisher cavalry. And go right out on the flank. Worryingly, it seems almost a little bit laggy already, which is not a good start. We'll put those guys out there. Seems good. And they're all happy. So hopefully, we're all looking okay. We'll just group these guys into one big block, just in case. Oh, we'll assign him to number 5 as well. So there we go. So this is our army setup. Already up. As you can see, these thorax swords, these are very heavy in melee infantry. It's sort of a classic sort of Greek unit, shared with lots of different factions. Yeah, pretty badass, pretty heavy infantry, pretty decent all-round unit, pretty reliable. These guys obviously are a little like Celtic warriors, very much different, have really high weapon damage. You can see the weapon damage, they're 40 on the weapon damage. They're not really very good in terms of frontline fighting because they're weak armor, etc., only a light infantry unit. But once they get in on that flank, that's when they start to do the damage. And of course we've brought 4 units of Celtic slingers. Nothing amazing, you know I like the slingers, I get on really well with them, so that's kind of why I've decided to go with them. So we'll just wait for the other player to ready up. Once he's ready, then we shall get stuck into a bit of combat, I think. We've got our very heavy shock cavalry. There's our general, our lancers here, which are pretty nice. I like the look of these. Really good charge. But other than that, I didn't think the actual hand-to-hand abilities were that much superior to the citizen cavalry. These medium melee cavalry here, and these guys are a lot cheaper. We're of course fighting off against Macedonia. Wow, he's gone very archer heavy. Kind of a surprising move. Then he's gone pikes in the middle. And they're hoplites. Okay, not what I had banked on. Citizen cavalry, same as me with his companion heavy cavalry. And then medium cavalry. Okay. Quite different to what I expected. We're going to have to be quite aggressive then, to be honest. Let's just get everyone moving up. However I want them to be. Let's get them into a rough sort of position. We're not going to be winning the range engagement very easily in any of this. I didn't quite want you to go there, actually. Something like that, into a nice little formation. We're going to go at him quite hard, I think, because I've not really got a lot to gain by anything else. We are basically matched on cavalry. We're pretty much identical cavalry for cavalry. It's his archers. He's got a lot of archers, all these light archers, which is a problem for me. They're going to be quite effective. So I think there's no point hanging around for a range fight when he's got almost double the number of range units compared to me. Do they share the same range as me? They actually don't. They have got very slightly shorter range. We may be able to capitalise on that slightly. Be a little bit careful other units here don't get too far ahead of our own infantry. It's being fairly static. It's fine by me for now. Initially, I'd feel quite confident about this. I think if we just go hard, as long as I don't loiter around too long, that is the one big risk, I think. If I am too passive, then his archer dominance will, give him the advantage. But I'm not intending to be, so hopefully it won't be a problem. Just waiting for the heavier thorax infantry to catch up. These guys may end up trying to protect these, really, because these are going to come in really useful to chase down some of the archers if our cavalry ends up getting compromised, which it may end up doing. Let's just push this whole block forwards a little bit more, and then we'll push our slingers forwards then of the line to try and get in range of these enemy archers. Whether he's going to bring himself forwards immediately, which is obviously what he should probably be doing because of the range disadvantage. As soon as he commits to the ranged fight, then I'm going to be going for it. So let's push. Actually, let's just pull them forward in a slightly neater formation, at least at first. Trying to capitalise on our range advantage. Something like him. I'm getting a little bit push our guys forward a little bit there as well. He must know that I outrange him. I'm going to get the first volley off. He says, hopefully. I'm a little bit dangerously forward though because you know, I'm a bit vulnerable to cavalry here. Our first volley is off. Quite effective. Maybe we should take the range fight. It's going to take him a little bit of time to push himself up. Let's just keep this volley on these guys. They're not pushing forwards yet themselves to engage, but I just wanted to actually decimate that unit if I can, which we are now doing quite effectively. Let's split ourselves. Don't know why he's not committing all his units to the fight there. Seems a strange thing to do to me. But for now, I'll take it. We're ready to go at a drop of a hat. Just start to terrorise a little bit with our javelin infantry. We're splitting off now, fighting these two units. How are we faring up ourselves? Pretty well so far. It's not causing very many casualties against it at all. We have got the benefit of having shields with these slingers. It does make them slightly better in these sort of fighting light infantry unit fights. So that's going pretty well for us. It's giving us a real early dominance because we've now got this sort of advantage. I'm going to push ourselves around here slightly. Some of his units are getting pretty unhappy about the situation already. Starting to waver, and they're actually broken. Wait for them to break and then we'll bring our attention down on the next lot. And then we're going to have a little bit of a pesty crime, being a bit of a pest and get in here on the side. This is why, for an example, when I say I prefer slingers, this is basically in a nutshell why. Bring up the heavier units. Come on guys, don't be so slow. Okay. Mobilising our heavier units. These guys are going to cut down here, and hopefully our heavier shock cavalry here are going to come in for the charge. We should really be winning that, I would expect, because we have the shock charge. Yeah, we get quite a few casualties in the initial hit, although perhaps not as many as we would like. And then we're going to get stuck in with those citizen cavalry. Okay, let's get our slingers, keep them working. A little bit ahead of the lines probably. But nothing too drastic yet at the moment. And then we're just isolating him. You know, these pikes, while absolutely deadly, because we're going to outnumber him so much because he used so many of his units on range, then I think ultimately it's going to work out in our benefit. And he's really enabling us to focus down his cavalry 1-to-1 now, which is another mistake on his part. We're about to lose one of our slinger units, who have sadly had a bit of a rough time of it. Oh, come on guys, get your fire on these archers. What are you doing? Yeah, they didn't have a lot of fun. I'm surprised that almost didn't shatter them, to be honest. To lose that much of your unit. Let's break these guys. There we go. Good job. And then General is going to finish these guys off. And if we can shatter them, then do just keep an eye on that enemy cavalry there. Yeah, we did. And that's come in on the back of this citizen cavalry here. Voila! Charge! And our heavy shot cavalry goes straight in, wavering and imminently broken. Pull back. And we'll demobilise our cavalry for the horse from this side. We're going to get hit one there, but our own cavalry is being sufficiently threatening to drive him away. And he's broken there. Nice, so we've achieved dominance on one of the cavalry flanks. So with that, I'm going to pull my general back. We'll form you two into a unit there, and then form up. So we'll leave those two on that flank there, but the rest of you can... But I'm going to pull my general back over this flank to give me the cavalry dominance on this flank, you see. And now I think, basically, the army will advance. In good order, steadily now, no rush. Save our stamina. And there must be, he must be feeling pressured now. He's just taken basically an absolute arse whooping in the range fight. He's lost the cavalry on one of his flanks, and now I'm going to hopefully start to come and apply a bit of pressure. Oh, we've still got our cavalry dominance over this side as well. Let's start to go and throw some javelins at some of these heavier units here. Let's bring up our slingers again. Start to apply what pressure we can to kill these remaining units here. I don't know if we'll do a lot with our javelins, but at least we stand a chance. Just hammer those guys. Get them out of the fight. Get them out of the picture. Took a few casualties actually on our heavier shot classes. I don't think he's really taken any casualties at all on his some of his units, which is not so good. 3. Managed to cause 3. Oh, we're getting a bit laggy here. All of a sudden, which is not so good. Why is that happening? So he's pulling his units down there, which is fine. I think. Just rearrange them. Have they shattered yet? They must be gone. Gone soon, you would think. These basically hoplites are going to face off against these pikes from the front. It's not going to be a particularly pretty engagement, but these guys have got pretty high melee defense, so at least we're going to hold for a long time. Then we're just going to overwhelm these flanking units, and then basically switch around and envelop is the plan. Oops. I didn't know C did that. Cool. C is like zoom in. Some of these pikemen are looking pretty mean. Although we seem to be struggling a bit. Is it me lagging or is it him lagging? My next question. Still moving up slowly, but not at a very good pace at the moment. What are we going to get our slingers to focus in on? Like him, maybe. You're going a little bit far forwards of the line, possibly. Bring these guys up. It does give us more time to plan, I suppose, than the very variable speed limit of this. This is going to hurt. No, just face them. Face them, face them, face them. It's not going to be pretty. Oh, my poor little light infantry. Oh, big hit. But our own cavalry now turning up. They should now charge in. Or hopefully at least get some casualties on them as they get more stuck into the fighting. Yeah, we'll start to do a bit of damage. Get some shots in on those thorax. Not particularly effective, but it is what it is. Can't imagine that's going to be a particularly favourable outcome for him doing that. But hey ho. So you, and you engage there. You're going to push forward straight into him. And you two, realistically, I want you to try and get round, although it's just turning into a bloody cavalry fight on this flank. Try and get you guys round there, push you round on the flanks. Okay. So the engagement has basically broken out. I'll try and get these two people through without getting too caught up in stuff if I can. Keep our missiles just firing whenever they get the opportunity. These guys moving nice and quickly. Get our Celtic warriors in. Oh dear, I've been slightly hammered by those guys. What have we got here behind the lines? Nothing too much of importance to us. These guys have ended up getting engaged there. That's not what I had in mind. So let's go around the back of those thorax swordsmen there. Let's completely surround and envelop those guys. They even got their spears in before they charge. That's got to be pretty breaking, you would think. The amount of casualties they've sustained in the last sort of couple of minutes is very, very, very high. You try not to actually... Well, they're running away. Let's just kill them as they run. Just for fun. And let's try and kill his general, because he's down to 30 units. That'll really break him very, very quickly. Try and file yourself down this corridor if you can, please. Try and get behind some of these swords. Lovely, welcome to throw javelins in. They're going to get rear charged by sort of the hoplites to give a bit of a tighter line by the looks of things. Which is fine. We're basically slowly sandwiching these lines in. Some of the thorax swords there are routing. His general's now really struggling as well. Hopefully some of these pike lines are going to start struggling. Yeah, you see my hoplites are taking casualties from the front, but that's kind of was always the plan. They're only there to absorb damage. They're now going to start getting hit by those hoplites, but again, don't really mind. What does that give us here? Let's push these two flanking units down, and let's get all these cavalry. Second cavalry detachment. I pressed the wrong button. What button have I pressed? I've pressed the help button. I've opened the help window. That wasn't intended. God, I suck at this game sometimes. Okay, a bit of a fight's broken out down here, a bit more of a tougher fight. Some of our hoplites not having a lot of fun in it. But it'll be fine. Come on, get into these pikes here at the back before they get a chance to turn around. Oh, that's going to be an intimidating sight if you were in that pike formation. That is not going to be a lot of fun. Let's slap you with a war cry. See if I can get you to go. amount of casualties you're going to start racking up now. Shaken. Wavering. Go on. Break, 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 break. Don't want to break. I really thought I was going to do for them. Huh, they've actually recovered. Oh, screw you. These guys aren't having a lot of fun though. Over here, how things are looking. Pretty fine. We'll pull you guys out. You shouldn't have been got into quite such a tight fight there. It's my bad. Try to rout if you can. Because I'll then bring you back round. Recharge them like that, because whichever way they face, then they're going to start taking a bit of a pummeling from both sides. Those pikes there now are thinking about wavering. You can engage you. Pretty much everyone else should be focused on these hoplites, because if we can get them to break, that would be pretty nice. Everyone's wavering now. He's just going to break in one. His army is crumbling around him. There's not got enough left. Look at their bar. And everyone is routed. Bish, bash, bosh. And it is a victory for massilia? Something like that. Okay, that was kind of a good battle. I think he made some mistakes in his deployment of going far too heavy on archers. He should have, you know, no more than 3 or 4. And that would have been more preferable to him. And I also think his cavalry selection was fine, but the way he deployed it and lost sort of defeat in detail on each flank wasn't. You know, I was able to use my general as a superior cavalry force to smash in when he engaged on one flank, and obviously didn't have the rest of his units there to back it up. Pikemen did a nice job though, but unfortunately just not enough for them to create a suitable front line. So anyway, hopefully you've enjoyed this video. If you have, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Subscribe to the channel for lots more Total War content, and I shall see you all on the next video.